Browns fans, what is going on? Your boys are back for another episode of Brown and Orange Weekly. I'm your co-host, Dean Samples, and followed by the one and only, my man Clarence Wilson. How you doing, my man?
What's up, bro? So, of course, we did a show last week, and the very next day,
Yeah,
they make a move. So,
and it's not who
no,
we thought it was going to be.
no.
I think last week we talked about, um, I already forgot his name, the guy from Seattle. And
I had
then
all that up.
we also would like to see old boy from Pittsburgh get taken Flores, but we got Jim
Yes.
Schwartz. Jim Schwartz is our new defensive coordinator. Um, he's won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'd like the hire a lot, actually. Now that it's had time to marinate. I think he's great. He he'll talk his shit. He'll fire this team up on the defensive side. That's someone who we desperately need. Um, hopefully maybe he can light a fire in Stefanski and get him a little fired up too, instead of just sitting there straight faced all game long.
I'm
But I'm excited for it, man. What are your thoughts?
excited too. It, I guess if there was a tier system of the guys that they had interviewed, I probably would have put him at two, most likely behind old boy from the Steelers,
He has a ton of
Flores.
experience too, so it's.
Yeah, 14 years, I believe it is, in the NFL as a DC.
I
He
think he got a
got the
start.
Lions to the playoffs.
I think he might
Yeah,
got
he
a
did. He got
start.
his. Yep.
Theodore Belichick.
Yep. Sure was. Sure was. I mean, I'm happy. But you know me. I'm an old Browns fan, man. Like I've seen too much. Like just perform on the field. We've we're 92-0 in press conferences. Never lost.
Right.
Never
I've
lost.
known better. I'll see you guys in training camp and preseason when that kicks off. I'll see some then. Until then, I'm just like, there's nothing bad. We're Browns fans. We just know better.
Mhm.
We
Yes.
still love you guys. Like we're still gonna go be there and support you. I just don't want to hear the other shit. Just talk on the field now.
Yep. That's all we need. I'm like I said, the press conference was awesome. He shared a lot of cool stories about being here originally and all that kind of stuff. But like, just win, man. I'm done. Like, I'm gonna be a fan till I die, but just win. I don't care. I don't care about nothing else.
Yeah. At least at this point, is my fandom, I should say.
Yeah.
It's over 30 years. But
Yeah. Me too.
with Schwartz being here, how much of an impact do you see that being on free agency?
Um, a big part of free agency. I would like to think that he looked at his defense and said, "All right, there's some pieces here, but he has a track record of having great DTs. You know, some of those were there when he got there. Some of them, he turned into stars.
Yeah.
So I think that his number one thing was probably like, all right, you got Miles on the edge. We're obviously probably gonna need another one, but get me to at least in my mind, he probably said two, but they're gonna get him at least one stud DT
In a
if
perfect
possible.
world, I have two guys in mind that I would just love to have there in the middle, but
Yeah,
Javon
I mean, we
Hargrave
talked. Yeah,
from the Eagles, and then Payne from the Commanders.
yeah. I mean, we talked DT all year, you and I. Like we get, I think probably after week 4 or 5 when they started getting gashed in the run right up the middle.
Bad,
We've
bro.
been talking DTs. We've been talking DTs.
Um, yeah, it was bad. I'm not giving up hope on like Winfrey and whatnot, but and those younger guys that we got, it's just we need somebody. We need some veterans. If we can find like when we found Teller and brought him here, why like we gave him basically a second chance at shining, basically, like because he didn't do very well. What was he in Buffalo?
But yes, really so.
And then he comes over here and he just balls the fuck out. And he's been great. Whitehall's been amazing. If we
Yeah,
can find or like if one of our younger guys can turn out to like play like him on that side of the ball, that'd be fantastic. But um, I think we just need a hard hitting veteran to beef
I
up that
100% agree.
line.
I 100% agree. Um,
It's kind of
and on
wild.
that note, on that note, sir, what are we talking about today?
Defensive tackles.
The free agent DT.
Look at the free agent market. It's just Brown's defense, especially with Schwartz here being a defensive coordinator. Is this an attractive place to be from a free agent standpoint? Um, maybe I'm being biased, but I would think so. But we're gonna go down this little rabbit hole and see what we can who's available and if it's realistic or not.
Yep, and we'll preface this with saying, right now, I know the Browns aren't projected to have a whole lot of cap room, but we know about the restructuring of deals and things of that nature, and we got like four guys making over $100 million on contracts. So I'd like to think that there's a way to restructure some of these deals to maybe fit somebody in here. But well, next week's show we might have a solution for that, but we'll get into that later.
We'll get into that. Man,
So you
I
mentioned
mean,
Hargrave. Is that your man? Is that your man?
yeah, we're paying from Washington.
Okay.
I don't know how realistic that could be, but it'd be nice in a perfect world. I know we don't have the cap for it. I really just wish Watson would be like, you know what? I want to be here for sure. Let's restructure that contract a little bit. I would love that.
Him,
Is it?
him, Ward too.
Yes. It's, it sucks, man. But that's just how the market is nowadays. People are getting overpaid. One guy,
Yeah,
if one team opens a checkbook for like a mediocre player, everybody with the ego is going to be like, well, if he can get that, I can get this. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's
yeah,
never ending battle. It's just going to keep going up until they do something about it. But I don't. Do you see what Lamar Jackson turned down reportedly?
yeah. I mean, he got lowballed compared to what they're handing out.
For sure. But it looks at like Watson is for in the quarterback market, Watson just set the standard. Dude hasn't
Yeah, we
played in
screwed it
almost
up
two
for.
years. And that dude made how much? All guaranteed. If he can do that for being out of the league for almost 2 years, what are you going to pay me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we screwed it up for the rest of the league trying to sign quarterbacks. That's what we did.
Leave it to us.
Yes, that's what we did. So,
NFL executives are they picked us to see us potentially breaking out next season. I don't know
man,
how much that means to you, but
man, and don't mean nothing to me, man. Like until we see number one them make some moves. Like right now, we got the same team as last year. We got a new DC, but there needs to be improvements on this team. So
I,
obviously, we both think that Watson's going to get better because I mean, couldn't got much worse than some of the
what
stuff we saw. We saw flashes, like we said.
what do you need to see from Watson to make him be like the top guy? AFC North is tough. Let's just be realistic here.
Yeah,
If Lamar Jackson stays in Baltimore, you got Lamar over there. You got Joe Burrow, which dude's insane. And I imagine the Steelers are probably going to still be competitive. I don't know if Kenny Pickett's the guy, but still, they always find a way to be fucking tough, and I hate them.
they're always in it.
They're always in it. So we have, you know, we have the toughest conference in the league. What do you need to see from Watson to be top dog in the AFC North?
He got to play like he did pre-suspension and pre-sitting out for a year and then suspension. But 2 years basically he lost. Like we saw the flashes, like his escapability is off the chain. Like there's just my son now, he's watching old Browns games from this year that we actually sat and watched together, but he wants to watch them again. And so I'll be sitting and watching a little bit with him. He's just the Watson escapability is ridiculous. Now the accuracy was not there this year, which
No,
again I think that's going to be something that comes back.
I think we gotta be. I mean, you just gotta look at it from a different perspective. This dude was allowed into the team facility and able to practice with the team for only a couple weeks prior to his official return. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like this last 6 games was important for him just to shake off the rust and get a feel for it again. And now he has all off season to train with his team and do what
Yeah,
he needs to do. You know what I'm saying? To get more comfortable. So I think we're going to see a much better Deshaun Watson start the season. I hope I'm right, but um,
better be.
to have this off season and be able to like no more worries. You know what I'm saying? It's all systems go now.
Yeah,
You're
he
going to
better.
see when he comes into training camp, dude's going to be ready.
He better be ready. He better be
Hey,
ready.
you better be ready, you son of a bitch.
Like I said, I'm old and I need to see results on the field. We we've witnessed since 2018, we have been paper champions a couple times. It's not worked out. So
It did not.
as far no, as far as I'm concerned, just put it on the field. Um, but yeah, let's. I want to get into these DTs, man. I'm admitted not a big DT guy. I know who's good. I know who's all right. But it was real easy for me to see last year that we didn't have any.
We need to, we need to buff
Or
up
should yeah,
that run
I
defense.
shouldn't.
Better look new, brand new next year.
Mm-hmm. I should have. Like I said, it was easy to see that it's not that we didn't have any. We didn't have guys that were impact players. So, um, your boy Javon Hargrave, um, he's kind of getting that size that I like. I think it's that he's 6'2", 305.
Yeah, big boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Um, his market value
It's gonna be up there.
is, yeah, it's going to be up there. Unless the Browns can work out something because he made 14 mil last year. Um, unless the Browns can do something like let's say they free up 25 million somehow. I mean, it's at who he is and what Spot Track is projecting his market value to be at 20 million. That's rough. We ain't getting nobody else.
Hell, I mean, then you also got over there as well, Fletcher Cox. He's an old veteran, a big
Yeah.
boy. He'll bust you in your mouth. I don't know how many more years he's got left in him, but maybe we can get him for the low. But I know
Do
he's
you
still
think
got
that's
market too.
yeah? But I think you might be onto something there because you know what, he is a little bit older, so maybe we can get player price on him as opposed to Hargrave. He's 30, but he had a pretty damn productive season last year. So I mean, 11 sacks, 16 QB hits. Like I feel like we outside of Miles, we don't none of our guys equal that number.
No.
So you
Yeah.
might be onto something with going after him, but like you said, he's going to have some value too.
Yeah. You got Darren Payne over there in Washington. I think that would be a good potential pickup too. If we can make it happen, if the price is right, of course.
I've heard something about him possibly being franchised or
I wouldn't be
something
surprised.
like that.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised at all if they did that.
I mean that's our. I think that's everybody's dream is to get him, but
In a
I
perfect
don't know.
world, it'd be nice. Is it possible? Probably not.
You know, what about you think about Sheldon Rankins? I
There's
mean,
potential there.
younger,
Yeah.
yeah, younger. uh,
Maybe I'm just like overlooking his talent because it's the Jets. I don't know.
They got us.
Yeah, I still have a sour taste in my mouth from that, man. I'm not gonna let that go. That still hurts. Um, yeah, I, I don't know what his market value is though. I wouldn't
I
be
mean,
mad.
most of these guys. I think most of these guys are going to be
He'd definitely be an
outside.
upgrade.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys are going to be outside of what the Browns are going to be able to spend.
Mhm.
Um, Especially, I mean, this guy's 28. He made 5.5 last year, and they're projecting him at 7.3 spot track. So could be in the realm.
I just thought of something. When Ndamukong Suh played for Detroit, who was his coach at one point?
You're Schwartz. Schwartz was there to draft him. That's what I'm saying. So
Would you welcome Ndamukong Suh for what do he got paid
man,
some veteran minimum shit basically to come play for was he in Philly right now?
yeah, I think so. He didn't want to come here. I guess I
It was
wouldn't want to
Schwartz
come here
here.
either.
Schwartz
He's
can
got one last good one in him. He's 36, bruh.
I think you can get a good one.
I mean, we could afford him. I think that would, I don't think money would be a factor.
Plus, we're still waiting to see if maybe the Browns keep Taven Bryan. I don't think they will, but we need something in that position.
He played all right.
Do you see them
He
going
had
DT in the
moments.
draft
I
early? Man.
guess it's all going to depend on who's sitting there with that second round pick. Um, I don't know. Like I said, we said it before on the show. They shocked me by going DB this year. I thought for sure they were going to go wide receiver or linebacker or
Who they pick? Emerson,
yep. After
which
trading back,
turned out to be a good one.
yeah. After trading back, that's 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 thumbs up for Barry on that one.
Can we, did they already do the awards like team awards? Because I'm pretty sure if he didn't win it, he should be get defensive rookie of the year for team awards. Weird if they do that shit.
I'm sure. I'm sure he's one of the only rookies that had any impact.
David Bell was a disappointment,
Yeah.
but we're talking about defensive tackles.
Yes, we are. It was Sue though. I mean, why not? We don't. To be quite honest, they've only got backups right now. So if they're gonna get a dude to put in the rotation, why not get Sue, who's I think still has a little bit of tread on the tires, not a lot, but like you said, maybe under Schwartz.
Yeah, he got, he's got some pull. He's got to. Dude's been in the
Yeah,
league for a minute. He knows his shit.
yeah. So
I'm looking. I just
I,
pulled
I
up
would
the list of other free agent defensive tackles. Like There's really not much. Jerry Tillery, Dalvin Tomlinson.
So what
Let's
do you
see
think
here.
they because this list that
Andrew Billings.
yeah, this list we're checking out though is not crazy inspiring, but it's also, I mean, it's DTs. If we could just get a guy that can plug up the middle,
That'd be
that
nice.
would solve crazy problems for the Browns. Solve crazy problems. So
Right now, going into the draft, Georgia's Jalen Carter is among the best defensive tackle prospect going in there.
the top five, we ain't getting nowhere close to
No,
that.
if that boy drops to the second round, I'll be shocked. We're gonna get into the draft coming up in the next month or so. More when we get a little bit closer to it. But do you have any other like maybe? So we got. Can we both agree that we need to attack the defensive position? We gotta really beef that up before anything. That's like top priority. That and linebackers, right?
I would think. I mean, I just can't see any other spot that after watching what you watched this year, where were they the absolute weakest at? Where it cost them? Like we thought a wide receiver is going to be a position of weakness outside of Amari, and we weren't even sure what we were getting with Amari. He came in here and balled. Then DPJ stepped up, had a solid year. Outside of that,
Yes, he did.
not a lot. Like I mean, I'd like to think that at some point they're going to address the wide receiver position, but I'm also, and tell me if you agree with me, I'm also getting this feeling that because of the cap situation and because of what they need, they're not going to be able to figure this all out in one offseason.
No, though I wouldn't be surprised if they draft another wide receiver
You'll have to.
early.
They pass on Pickens to take MJ. So
Does that bother you? You can be honest. Does that bother you? A little bit?
a little bit, but only
Pickett's gonna be a
because
stud, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, and the only reason it bothers me is because I thought, like going into it, that DB was a position of strength. So we're thinking Newsom, Ward, JJ3. Remember, all these guys played well at the back end of last season. JJ3, uh, Greedy, if he was ever going, get decent, Delpit, Ronnie, like we're thinking of all these dudes. So I was like, why take another DB? But it turns out that me, along with most of Browns Nation, have we overrated some of those dudes in that defensive
Oh,
secondary.
for sure. Delpit started off the season rocky as hell. I was kind of like, all right,
Got
dude,
better.
you're ass.
He got better.
Oh yeah, the second half towards the end of the season, dude balled out. Um, I hope that's a sign that if he could continue that way, man, I'll be happy with Delpit. I'm still like, who did the Browns pass on TJ Watt for?
Uh, I try not to think back of all the people they passed over because it would make me sick.
Took Tim Couch over Donovan McNabb.
Hey, you know what? I don't even hate on that move. The Browns
I
screwed
love Tim
Couch by
Couch.
not putting nothing on him. Yeah,
I still
but
got
I
a Tim Couch
mean,
jersey.
we had 2 first-round picks and we took Justin Gilbert and
God,
one
he was
man.
so bad. He was so bad.
He came out and they were like, "Hey, Justin, you're gonna try and return some punts." He's like, "Nah, I'm good." The hell?
Nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah. But I mean, I think you're right. I think they got to address. They're going to have to use free agency and the draft to address these deficiencies in wide receiver and DT linebacker. So
They'll probably draft some
I'm
tackle as well.
yeah, but I'm assuming like you're only going to be able to get one good free agent if possible.
They'll
So
probably
what?
draft a
Who's it going to
quarterback
be? I wouldn't doubt that. But who's it going to be? What are you going to use that free agency money on? Are you going to spend it on a DT? You're going to spend it on a wideout?
too. I think they'll go this. Yeah, it's like you said, it's going not going to be done in one season. They're probably going to get what they can get now at a bargain. They're not going to like throw. I don't see them throwing a book at one guy. And they're definitely going to draft some guys. They're probably going to draft a tackle, a wide receiver, a linebacker, and I wouldn't doubt a quarterback since we don't know if Brissett's going to come back or not. Guarantee you, just to have that depth there, and then they might even draft another running back late in the draft. Who knows?
They better not.
I wouldn't be
actually, if
surprised, man.
if it's a if he's a weapon, and there's nothing else there.
When they drafted Ford this past draft, I was like, "What are you doing?" I wasn't mad at like dude's a beast, but okay, you know what I'm saying? Like we had Chubb Hunt and then Dearness Johnson who looked great.
Mhm.
Like I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
It's not a bad
yeah.
problem to have. I mean, we've seen how
Well, they
that
were
plays
thinking
out.
ahead. They were thinking ahead because they knew that they probably weren't bringing back Hunt, and they knew Dearness probably ain't coming back either. So,
Dearness
you
could be a
know,
top back somewhere
yep, Hunt probably can too if he gets the opportunity. But
or a good 1-2 punch on an offense.
mhm. Yeah, I'm looking at the just for hoops and laughs. I'm looking at the linebackers,
Why are you doing that?
and just I want to see who they might think about spending their money on. Like, because like I said, I think they're only going if they can free up some dough, they it's only going to be able to be spent on one
Trying
difference making player.
trying to think who else is getting paid.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, they won't be
Anthony,
spending money on
how much?
anything.
How much is Anthony Schwartz going to make next year?
They better keep him on the team and just get him on the drugs machine because he might be our deep
I think
threat.
he's making like 1.2 million or something next year. For what?
Probably.
I am
Because
having
he's fast.
whatever. Get your money.
He's fast. He's fast. I'll look at this real quickly. I think DT is where they're going to spend their money because the free agent wide receiver crop is not pretty. We'll get into all this later on in the season, but this is just in a quick glance. Yeah, this ain't pretty. The
We'll do wide
linebackers,
receivers next
man,
week.
you can do wideouts next week.
We'll do wideouts next week.
You can do wideouts. Ain't much to talk about. Woof.
Oh, next
This
week.
is a pretty ugly list of wide receivers. So and they don't and that's the thing. Like we're so
We can do, or you want to do
hamstrung.
linebackers next week?
Let's do wideouts.
Okay.
Let's do wideouts.
Then
But
we'll
we're
do
so
linebackers
hamstrung.
after that.
Yeah, yeah. But we're so hamstrung by these contracts and all this trade. Like, can we? I'm still trusting in Barry. I'm still trusting in Andrew Barry
Are you?
to make some moves. I mean, Do I have any other options?
No.
I mean,
Sure. No.
I'm pulling for him, and I think that he realizes, that people are going to make mistakes. I think he realizes that not touching this defensive line was a mistake. So, but I mean, I think if he's the man I think he is, he's going to have to make some kind of like trade to maybe even to bring in one of these guys in a position of need. Like I said, we don't. Our assets are fairly slim right now,
Very slim.
so
Unless we make some trades and get some draft
yeah,
picks.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Most of the
Or just
guys
make
who
a
are
trade for DeAndre Hopkins.
we ain't got
Do that next week.
they ain't got the all these other teams can offer a one. They ain't got no ones.
Houston got all our ones. forever.
But you know, hey, I don't care about them damn picks as long as Watson comes out, balls out, and it's to me from this entire move, it's caused the franchise and its fans so much strife. It's Super Bowl or bust in the next 4 years, and he's the guy who's got to take it, bring it home.
Yep.
So
Out of the Browns free agents that are coming up to be available to sign where else, out of all those on that list, if you could pick one to retain, who would it be?
good question. Because like
Only pick one.
because like the guy who wants to score points and run it up says, man, we got to keep Hunt. We got to figure out a way to use this dude. Like that's the guy in me that wants to score.
I
But
wish.
then
It's not gonna happen though. I think that really.
no, no. Now the defensive guy in me says, man, we got a new DC. Maybe we can get another good year out of Clowney. We get it, but both those dudes, I think, are deuces.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the two guys I'd like to see them keep without a doubt. I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on Deion Jones and bringing him back. But
I think we should bring him back. If the price, if we can get him for another 1 year deal, I think that'd be great.
yeah,
If only.
yes. Well, I think we covered our DTs. We talked about our new DC. We decided next week, y'all tune in. We're gonna do some whiteouts. Dean, is there anything else you want to tell the people?
Um, be good. Uh, take care of your mental health and stay hydrated. Don't be a hater.
I second all those things, and we both want to give a mad shout out, happy belated birthday to Phil Dawson and Eric
And Eric
Metcalf.
Beckham. Build a damn statue of Phil Dawson already.
I mean, like we tweeted yesterday that Phil was the star on some lean years of football.
He was never even drafted. Phil Dawson was never even drafted. He's more.
And Metcalf, I don't even talk about Metcalf. That man, ooh, when he first came in the league,
Eric was mean. Oh, I got me an Eric Metcalf jersey. I love it. So I'm rocking the boy Joe Thomas. One way or another, I got to get down to Canton for his ceremony when he gets inducted.
that'd be
That place
nice.
will be packed. Yeah, I gotta go down there for that. One way or another, I gotta get tickets. You can come too.
Oh, I'm coming. Believe that.
Get some coverage.
Yes. That's all I had to tell the people. Happy birthday. Also, what Dean said, take care of your mentals. Be nice to people. It's way easier to be nice. Chill, love one another. Argue on Twitter like you're going to, but don't talk reckless.
Yeah, don't talk reckless. There's a line. Don't cross that line.
That's right.
And shout out to the big man upstairs for helping Peyton Hillis get released and come back to good health. As you guys know, he almost passed away. He almost drowned, saving his two kids from drowning. He was in critical condition for a while. He's been released from the hospital the other day, and it's good news.
Yes. Mad shout out love to also to Damar Hamlin. Like
And all
I've
you
seen one
guys
more
thinking that that's a
silly ass.
conspiracy theory, come
What's
on,
wrong with people? What's wrong with people?
come on, man.
Like
Saying he's a clone and he wasn't even at the game, and it's just like, come on.
people lost their damn minds, man. there's people that I'm on Twitter and I'm like I think I liked some of these people's tweets before, and then they come spitting that wild, talking reckless.
Yeah, I've heard some crazy conspiracy theories, but like, I mean, this has to go up there with like Gucci Man being a clone, or you know what I'm saying?
I saw an interview with Alan today. This will be the last thing I say. I saw an interview with Alan today, and they brought it up to him, and he's like, what? He was in the locker room with us. He was in the booth with his son. Like he's like he cursed at the end of the interview. I don't know if he said stupid shit or what he said, but he just, so yeah. Stop being reckless on the internet, y'all.
It's crazy, bro. So shout out to Believe in Media and the rest of our teammates. 2023 has been crazy so far. They've been working their asses off. Go to believeинmediallc.com. Check out all the articles and high school sports coverage. We got it all for you. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us reach 1,000 followers. Follow us on Twitter. Follow the rest of the team. We'll see you guys next week. Clarence, you want to let the people know?
Always. In the words of the venerable Freddie Kitchens, you don't wear brown and orange, you don't
You know
matter.
that. Peace.